Thousands of chickens are raised throughout the world as they are a good source of food, particularly their eggs and meat. Chicken products are not expensive compared to other sources of protein. Chicken farming creates income and employment opportunities for many people in Ghana. Also, droppings of chickens are used as manure by many smallholder farmers. But chicken, like many animals, can be affected by a number of diseases. Diseases can spread quickly between chickens and can be fatal. So knowledge about the most common chicken diseases, their symptoms, and management is very important. Also, how to treat your birds before they are infected could save your chicken's life and you a lot of time, money, and stress. Newcastle disease is a viral disease and can easily spread from one flock to another. Once one chicken gets the disease, all other birds in the community are at risk.
I bedamban vilo doron to chika no mazad. I mean no chika the veterinary trainer to swanka to top doron to gbatim mun mazad no ka waza gbatichi.
In this video, we'll learn how to identify the Newcastle disease and the signs, causes, control and management of this disease. Newcastle disease can affect the brain, breathing system, lungs, and guts of other poultry such as guinea fowls. So how do you tell the signs of the Newcastle disease? Let's listen to a farmer, Richmond Efrifa, to find out how he is able to recognize the Newcastle disease in his birds.
Newcastle yari man 1 year week. Ema omo jana ye green. Ema jana no so tale omo honam. Ema omo konchia. Newcastle yari chimbo na edin se obehu seye no.
Newcastle disease is caused by a tiny germ called a virus. It is spread by sick chickens and other birds. Also, people who have handled birds infested by the virus can pass it on to healthy ones. Like many viral diseases, it spreads fast and you can lose all your birds. Don't be deceived by anybody that the Newcastle disease can be cured using herbs and tablets. It is wrong to use these to treat the Newcastle disease. Traditional medicines cannot be used to treat the Newcastle disease. Let's listen to Mami Mohammed in northern Ghana to understand this. This disease can only be prevented, not cured. Now that we know how dangerous the disease is, how can we prevent it? You can separate your birds from other birds, but this is not possible for many farmers. Vaccination has proven to be the most effective way of managing the Newcastle disease in chickens. Now, what are these vaccines? Vaccines help to build immunity and strengthen the birds before they are attacked. When the Newcastle disease breaks out, vaccinated chickens can stand it and will not fall sick or die. Vaccines do not perform their functions the same day. It takes 7 days to strengthen the bird. This is the reason why you don't have to wait till your birds are attacked before you vaccinate them. If you wait, the birds will die and the vaccines will not be effective. In this video, we will learn how the different types of vaccines are used in Ghana. Let's talk to Dr. Rexford Pinkra.
There are 4 main vaccines that are used in Ghana to vaccinate against Newcastle. They are HB1, the Lasota, the Newcavac, and then I2. The I2 are used mostly in the local poultry, but can also be used in the commercial poultry. So the HB1 is the first Newcastle. That is the first vaccination you do against Newcastle in commercial poultry. And then the second one is the Lasota. That is the second vaccine you will do to vaccinate against Newcastle. And the third one, that is the Newcavac, is what you will do in the 16th week, normally for layer production. And subsequent to that, every 3 months, you can vaccinate either using the Lasota or the I2. So the HB1 is the first Newcastle vaccination that you do in a commercial farm. So normally that is within the second week based on the new schedule we have for veterinary in Ghana. So by the second week you do the first Newcastle, you put into water. By the fourth week you do the second Newcastle, that is a Lasota, that is also into water. And then the third Newcastle is in the 16th week, that is by injection into the thigh or the breast muscle. When you want to get to buy a vaccine from a veterinary shop, make sure that you go with your cold box with ice in it, and make sure that the vaccine that is being given to you is from a fridge, and a working fridge of course, so that you don't break the cold chain. Vaccines are what we call cold chain. If the cold chain is broken, then the vaccine loses its efficacy or it becomes impotent, and so you may think you bought a vaccine to prevent against a disease, but because the vaccine cold chain has been broken, you vaccinate and the vaccination is not successful. Also, you check for the expiring date of the vaccine. If the vaccine has expired, it is not good to be used in your poultry production to prevent against any disease. And also check that the seal of the vaccine is not broken. If it is broken, do not accept such a vaccine.
Ensure that the birds are thirsty before making vaccine solutions available. In the morning, you can give them dry feed. This will make them very thirsty and will drink the diluted vaccine immediately. The I2 vaccine is usually applied as droplets into the eyes of the birds. Let's listen to how this vaccine functions.
I2 vaccine is a vaccine used against Newcastle disease. It can be used on both commercial and the local chicken, but it is specifically designed for the local chicken because it is thermostable and it is cheap to purchase. The local farmer can apply it because it is user friendly.
Dispose of all leftover vaccine containers by burying or burning them. Farmers can vaccinate their chickens as a group to reduce costs. Never use expired vaccines. Vaccines kept under bad conditions are not good, so even when they are used, the birds will still be affected by the disease. Vaccinate against the Newcastle disease as directed by the veterinary officer. In this case, the bird's immune system is always strong to fight the Newcastle disease. For other diseases, you need to know how to manage them, because these vaccines are only for the management of the Newcastle disease and not for other diseases such as coccidiosis or fowlpox. Note that the vaccine do not affect human health. It also doesn't change the flavor or taste of meat or eggs. Vaccines, when applied in the right dosage, does not kill the chicken. When you realize that one of your birds has Newcastle disease, quickly kill and bury it deep into the soil at a place far from where you keep your birds. You can also burn it where appropriate.
When my birds die of Newcastle, I pick them immediately and bury them far away from the farm and deep into the ground so that dogs and pigs do not pick them and transmit the disease to other farms. So after that, I also wash my hands and disinfect them so I don't transmit the disease among other healthy birds in my farm.
Chicken that survives the Newcastle disease is like chicken that has been vaccinated. Though it survived the disease, remember to vaccinate it.